Hi, this is Natural Solutions. We're at the Dr. Wallach's Youngevity conference in April 2017, and I have with me Josephine with one of the most awesome Youngevity testimonials I've heard. When we talked over the phone, she shared the testimonial with me, and I really want that same testimonial to be documented right here. So if you could just please, Josephine, just tell us exactly what happened. You know, you had a lot of health issues and you were on medicines, and just tell what Youngevity has done and how it's made a difference.
All right. This time last year, I was going through a lot of issues with digestion, and finally it came to a crashing thing about middle of April, and which I was vomiting, could not hold any food down. I went to the emergency room. I thought it was food poisoning, and they says, no, it's not food poisoning. It must be something in your intestines. And they said, well, they spotted scar tissue and an old ulcer that had healed but had scar tissue. So I was admitted to the hospital because I was terribly dehydrated. Then he said, come back a month later and we are going to have to take your esophagus, put a balloon by it to expand it because it's narrowing. That was in the middle of April. So I returned in May, and I went and had the balloon inserted through my esophagus to my stomach, and then they took a biopsy against my wishes, but that's another story.
That's what they do, isn't it?
Yes, yes, they tricked me into signing the consent for it. Anyway, I was doing okay before I had this procedure, but the next day after the procedure, I was more ill than ever. And from May through July, I was extremely ill. Now, in early May, I had attended a Dr. Wallach's presentation, and he was discussing the amazing thing about diseases. And I did exactly what he said. I hope you all don't do. Take this information, oh wow, and then put it away. Because that's exactly what I did in early May. So I was discharged from the hospital a couple of days after in April, and then returned again in May, at the end of May after the procedure. More dehydrated and all. And after that discharge from the hospital, I asked, what should I do? I'm still sick and all. So something said, you have in your house what you need. You have the information. And then it said, you call Susan. Well, I told Susan what I'd gone through, and I'm sick and tired of it, and I'm lost weight. I could only eat very little food, or the passage was so narrow that it had to be in a blender, just like even thinner than baby food, and sometimes that got down. Susan recommended a Healthy Start Pack for me because I'm a vegan, but when I took the first few doses, it's like a car does when it's puffing around and you give it a jump start. And I had a jump start, and the body is a yes. Everything, I lit up. And all. After a few days, that was then Dr. Wallach says 90 days. And during that time, I couldn't walk up but 2 stairs and sit down, 2 stairs, sit down. And thus I started sleeping downstairs because no bedroom, so I had to sleep on the couch or on the floor. I couldn't walk. I couldn't drive. My blood pressure went up to 280 and over something. I was on blood pressure medicine because of that. I had 3 mini strokes, ischemic attacks, and And my heart, I would sit for 2 hours still, and my heart was 100 and something, beating rapidly. So I was on medicine for that. But when I started on the...
It's Youngevity 90 for life.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
When I started on that,
yes,
the body started just coming alive, coming alive. So July, and I went to my primary care physician, and she says, you're going to need we're recommending an operation that would sever your esophagus from your stomach to take out the scar tissue, because you're not going to be able to get any food down, and that passage is going to get narrower and all.
wow.
And I said, and come to the seminar, and we'll explain what's going to happen, how it's going to be. But it's helped a lot of people in your case. I was on Prilosec, and they were angry because I got off of that because it was making me sick. After July, August, and one day in September, I needed something from my upstairs bedroom. So I just scooted upstairs and ran back down. And I started doing, I said, wait a minute. I just ran up the stairs and all. So that's because the body will heal if you give it the tools it needed. And I took the 90 essential vitamins and minerals faithfully. At first, not so faithfully, but as I noticed I was getting better, looking better, and suddenly running up the stairs, when from April through July and August, I just had to poke up the stairs. But that's what happened. I followed the program. I have a sweet tooth. I like oily salads, but no oil. That was hard, but it was smart when I eliminated it. I'm so glad I did. And that's why I'm in this, and I'm trying to share it with others, because I feel great. And I went from walking just 2 stairs up to walking 2 miles easily, a power walk. And now I'm almost up to I can do about almost 3 to 5 miles and stuff.
Okay, I hate to do this, but if you'd like to tell us your age, if not, that's fine.
Oh, I am a lovely, dark, gorgeous.
Go ahead and say it now.
73 years old.
Wow, I wouldn't even guess that looking at you. Wow, I would have not have guessed that. Good God Almighty, the way you move and walk around,
Yes.
It's amazing. But you said something real critical. You said, I had the information, but I sat on it.
Yes.
And that's what's common. A lot of times people will hear
Yes.
this great information, but they'll fight between what their doctor says
Yes.
and what they heard in the seminar. And even if they order, they'll just not take it.
That's
They'll
right.
just kind of wait and say, well, my doctor said this. So how did your doctor feel when you started getting off all the medicines? How many medicines were you on, and how did you get
About
off?
12.
You were on 12
It was
different
12,
medicines.
12 different
And
medicines.
so how many medicines?
And, I have to tell you this.
Oh.
Okay, my appointment was late September, and that was the follow-up when the primary care in July says, well, you're really sick. You're really sick. You just, she shook her head. I walked in there, and brisky and everything, and the intake nurse said, okay, let me see, Josephine, what are you on? Prilosec. No, I don't take that anymore. And she was listing the drugs and listing the drugs. She says, well, what are you doing? Because you look great. And then I brought out the empty containers of the Youngevity product. I said, this is what I'm doing. The vitamins and minerals, the essential fatty acids, and the osteofix, the calcium. And she took it and she copied, because I had them on sheets. She copied all the sheets. And then she said, I'm going to get this ready for your primary care doctor. I'll be right back. And then she took the sheets, and she took so long. And then finally the doctor came in, and she handed in my sheets. She said, and I found out they had copied the sheets all in the office, because they wanted to know how could I get off of 12 medications and all.
Okay, now here's the thing. If they saw you get off of 12 medicines, and they copied the sheets, certainly they contacted us. Of course, they didn't contact us. They didn't contact you and find out how they can get involved in helping more patients.
I wished I had thought about doing that.
Well,
But
they should have thought about it. They're the professionals.
yes, yes.
But so what would you say to those that are, just believing that it's not going to work because they're just saying, well, it sounds too good to be true?
I'm going to tell you, it works. It works. My personal trainer, I finally returned to him after months of being absent, and I said, look, he says, I said, we're going to go slow. He said, and I says, and I don't have to have that operation. I want to take what you've been taking, so I won't need an operation. He described the vertigo and his low back pain. And I showed him what to take. And exactly 90 days later, I could kiss you. I could hug you. Because I used to couldn't jump. I do the taekwondo, and I jump up, and my back would be killing me. But now I can kick and jump. Thank you, Miss Polence, or Sister Josephine. Thank you.
Wow. Now, see, that's amazing. I'd like to meet this personal trainer because, it's awesome that, a personal trainer, someone that was having problems, and not only did you take care of yourself, but then you said, this is bigger than me. I'm not just going to hold this in, keep it to myself, but I'm going to share it with others. Thank you so much for this awesome Youngevity testimonial. And how can people get in contact with you if they want to get the Youngevity products?
317-842-8119.
Give it to them again.
317-842-844-8119.
Okay, one more time so we can get it right.
Because my daughter is the same as mine. 317-842-8119.
Now, you heard it straight from Josephine. So everyone who's hearing this now, call her right now if you have any kind of health challenges, and we together will find out what we can do to help you. And you know what? You don't have to suffer for nothing and just be hurting in ignorance, because God has given us what we need.
Yes.
And on this earth, He's supplied all of our needs according to His riches and glory by Christ Jesus. He's made us out of the clay, and He's supplied the refurbishment for this clay. Thank you so much, Josephine.
You're so welcome.